Today I'm going to start sweet peas indoors here for you. Today's a good example. We have cold weather outside. It was like 35 degrees. Normally they say to start sweet peas outdoors around Good Friday, which Easter was a little bit early this year. And then because of Montana weather, we have really cold winters here, and when the ground freezes, and we have to wait until spring to start our sweet peas when the soil can be easily worked up before planting, and this is usually in late April or May, around Good Friday. But our weather is very unpredictable here in Montana, spring weather especially, so some gardeners start their sweet peas indoors. And myself, personally, I do sweet peas indoors just to kind of cover myself, just in case the weather's bad and they don't germinate. And then I also plant outdoors also. I'm going to be using peat pots to start my sweet peas indoor, and they are a peat pot. Normally you soak these a little bit so they have a tendency to wick water, and I'm going to plant them in a 3 to 4 inch peat pot. Because if I do want to transplant these outdoors, all I have to do is cut the bottom out, and I can directly plant this into the ground. Because this will eventually just kind of dissolve away. And another thing that I also do, we have sweet peas nowadays that are good for container growing. So I actually start a lot of sweet peas inside containers that will be hanging baskets, and they only grow like 8 to 10 inches long. So they're really nice for container baskets, and we do carry that variety also. And the potting soil that I'm going to use today is a brand that we carry here in the store. And this is called Fox Farm. It's a Fox Farm brand potting soil. This is their planting mix. Ocean Forest potting soil. It's organic. It is all ready to use. It's pH adjusted, nutrient rich, and it has good things from the earth and the seed. It's very light texture, and it's slightly moist already. It has all natural ingredients. Now, if the potting soil is not moist, what you need to do is I put it usually in a container or a bowl, and I add water, and you don't want it real moist. You just want to have it just slightly, you don't want to squeeze water out of it, and so I add a little bit of water. And I mix it up with my hands. And I work the moisture through. And this, I can just feel it just slightly damp, and I don't want to be able to squeeze water out of it. Now there's two sayings with sweet peas. It has a pretty hard shell. So a lot of people say to soak the sweet peas overnight in tepid water, approximately like 8 hours, and some people say to soak them like 24 hours, and that loosens that shell so that it's able to absorb moisture a little bit better. And then other people or gardeners say do not soak the sweet pea seeds. And this is for a better germination rate, so not to soak the sweet peas. And so what they tell you to do is to nick them, or scarification. And what you can do is take, one thing you can do is take a nail clipper like this, and you use it just the little pointed edge here, and you just slightly nick this brown outer shell. You don't want to cut through. There's a white portion inside. You do not want to cut that. And you just want to nick that, and sometimes it's easy to do, and sometimes I can actually hear it sometimes. And you just nick, in fact, I don't know if you can see that, but you see just that little white portion there. So I have actually nipped away that brown coating of that shell. And so that way it's going to be it can absorb moisture a little bit easier. And I've been doing some tests to see which one better germinates. So I've done some seeds where I've just soaked them for like 8 hours. And then I've done some and planted in a separate pot. And then I've done some seeds where I have actually nipped them like this just to see if there's a better germination rate. And overall, sweet peas, the germination rate isn't all that good. It's like 75% to 85% germination rate. And the seeds are they're pricey. So I like to have all my seeds germinate. And I have these pea pots all ready with the soil in them. And I'm leaving about 1 inch between the top of the pot and the soil. And then you make about 1 inch indentation in the soil. And they do say to plant, for germination, positive germination, they say to plant 1 to 2 seeds per pot. And so I'm going to make 2 holes about 1 inch deep with my finger or with a pencil. And I'm going to drop my sweet pea that I've already done. And I'm going to do another one. And they say it takes anywhere from 10 to 24 days for the seeds to sprout. The germination rate is a little bit slow. So I'm going to nick this sweet pea also.